I've created a routine that stopped me feeling depressed and given me a sense of purpose. This routine has helped me work towards my goals, regardless of how I feel about them. I eat healthier, I work out more, and I'm more productive. I've done more work towards my goals in the past 4 months than I have in 10 years. So let's get into how I did it. Before I had routine, I felt depressed. My life was a mess. I had no goals, and life was passing me by. I would sit around and play video games late into the night, creeping into bed while everyone else was asleep, and that would make me feel like a failure. I would wake up late and never see the light of morning. And all I cared about was getting home and logging into World of Warcraft and pushing down my feelings. I never truly felt satisfied, and I felt aimless. It was time to change. It was time for a routine. So how did my routine start? So this is the routine that got my life on track. And the first thing that we want to look at is, when do we want to wake up? So I'm going to draw a timeline of the day. So here is waking up, and over here is going to sleep. So when do we want to wake up? Well, I'm going to put 6 a.m. So now we know when we want to wake up, we can work backwards and find out when we need to go to sleep. And if it's not abundantly clear already, sleep is the main thing that you need to be focusing on when you start your routine. So at what point do we need to go to sleep to get 8 hours and wake up at 6 a.m? Would that be 10 o'clock? So we're going to write 10 here, 10 p.m. But you don't just fall asleep straight away. How long does it take you to wind down? For me, it's about 45 minutes to 1 hour. So I'm going to put a little dot here, and we're going to write 9 p.m, wind down. So I've put a line here because what do you like to do before you wind down? Is there anything you like to do in the evening? Maybe you just want to chill out. So here I'm going to put chill. So this is at 8 p.m, chill. And I like to have a bath, maybe 6 or 7 o'clock. So I'm just going to put that in, 7 p.m, bath. So there we go, we've blocked out what we need to be doing to start getting ready to go to sleep. So now we can go all the way back. Now we've got that solidified, we can go back to the morning. Right, so now we're looking at the morning. And the first thing I like to do straight away is have breakfast. So I'm just going to write food because that's smaller. We have food straight away. That's just what I like to do. So I'm going to put that about 6:15. 6:15 is breakfast for me. And then after that, I would probably get started on some work. So this would be working for myself. Work. So let's just put that down 7 a.m. And the things I like to do, that could be anything like developing new skills, working on this YouTube channel, working on anything that you want to get done towards your goals or anything you want to personally develop. That could be going to the gym, anything like that. So I'd typically be doing this until about 10 o'clock. This would be a little block of work. And that's a nice 3 hours. You get 3 hours of work on yourself in the morning, and we've just hit 10 o'clock. Now I know this doesn't work for anyone that's got a full-time job who's going to start maybe 9 o'clock. You might have to leave the house at 7 or 8, but you could get in an hour in the morning and maybe have your, I don't know, a shake in the car on the way. But whatever you got, this is why it's your routine. I'm just showing you what I do. So from 10 to 11, I do cold calls. And this is working towards a different prospect, working on new opportunities, still kind of working for myself, but it's just what I like to do in that time. So I've got an hour each day dedicated to cold calls. I'll just write that down. So it's at this point in the day, now it's getting towards midday, I actually have to block out going to work. So I've got a part-time job, so it takes up from midday to 5 o'clock. So most of the day here, dedicated to job. So this is non-negotiable, I have to go and do this, but this is the time I'm not working for myself, I'm working for someone else. But I like to prioritize working for myself at the start of the day. Now I just want to reflect on, how do you know what you're going to do during this time? Well, I'm going to have a to-do list. And I've got a little notebook here, and I would have written down the things that I want to get done during this morning period. More on this very shortly. So we've come back from work, and the first thing I like to do is to plan my next day. So it might be 5:15 p.m. I'm going to put plan. So that would be when I sit down and I think very simply, what do I want to do today? So for instance, today, my tasks were set up the camera. It's a Saturday that I'm filming this. It was set up the camera, so it's right here. I went to the gym, and then it's to film this and get B-roll. Just 4 tasks. And typically, if it's the morning, it might just be edit a video. You know, a very broad thing that I'm going to do, and I can focus on that, and I know exactly what I'm going to do. And you don't have to spend very long on this. That could just be, 15 minutes. As long as you have kind of an idea of what you need to do tomorrow, it should just be pretty easy. You don't have to think about it too much. So that would be until about 5:30. Now you see we're getting close to our end of day period where we've already pre-booked what we're going to be doing at the end of the day. And that takes us up to that just here, there's 6 o'clock. This is when you want to start chilling. You want to start not thinking about work. You do need to not work all day. I mean, you can choose to swap this out for working if that's really what you want to grind and get something done. But I would suggest that you chill out. So this is my typical weekday routine. Now, the weekends, such as today, they're slightly different. I don't have to do my part-time job. The cold calls don't really work on the weekends. So what I like to do is actually prioritize here would be gym. First thing in the morning, first thing on my agenda. And then I like to focus work. So I'm getting my physical activity in first, and then I'm getting my work for myself. This is in blue. We'll get to the colour scheme in a minute, but work here, this is blue. So you noticed I've used a few colours here. So I've been using green. That's for opportunities. So each day I've dedicated 1 hour to opening up new opportunities, which over time that's going to compound and new things are going to come. Then I've used blue, and that's for self-work, working on yourself. Working on self. And then I've used red, which is just bodily needs. So I'm just going to write needs. As in you need sleep, and you need food. And I might consider my bath here as a need. Not necessary to, you don't actually need to wash, but so that is the gist of the routine that I've used to get myself in order. But there are a few rules that I like to live by. And that would be to prioritize. I'm going to write this in red. Sleep. So my goal of my routine is to get good sleep, because when you get good sleep, then you feel like you can do anything. And I don't want to go through life feeling knackered because I didn't get enough sleep. So I feel like the fundamentals to getting yourself in order is to make sure you're getting enough sleep. And most of the time, I actually get 7 hours sleep. I don't get 8. I wake up, say if I fell asleep at 10, I'd probably be waking up around 5 or 5:30. Not 6. So I do get 7, but I try my best and I do prioritize sleep. So I am working for that 8 hours, but I get what I get. There is one other rule, and this one, it doesn't matter how small it is, but you need to take action each day. So as long as you're taking action each day towards your goals, you're going to be progressing. You're not falling behind. See, if on the weekend, I went out and I decided I'm going to go drinking or whatever, that's not only going to set me back productivity-wise, because I could have done some work, but physically, I'm going to feel like shit when I come to Monday. So I don't do that. I opt to work on myself still. I go to the gym, and I opt to, currently I'm working on YouTube because that's just what I want to do. And I'm taking action each day. It doesn't mean you have to work for hours and hours. It could be something small. It could be like half an hour of reading, half an hour of researching what you want to do, where you want to go. Maybe you haven't even formulated a goal yet. So formulating a plan for where you want to go in life would benefit you greatly. Another thing to bear in mind here is you can adapt this however you like. This is just what I've done for myself. The thing is, your day's not going to look like mine. You might have to work early. You might work nights. So it's about scheduling in the things that you need to do when you can do it. But as long as you're taking action each day, no matter how small, you will be working towards your goal. You know, if you want to make music, maybe you've got half an hour to open up Fruity Loops or whatever and, you know, get away and make some music. But at least you're dedicating half an hour each day. And over time, that's going to be a lot of time dedicated towards making music, and you will have progressed. So now that we've done that, let's talk about the challenges that I have had trying to follow this routine. Because it's not that I have been doing this smooth sailing. It hasn't just gone through easily. There's always a roadblock to everything in life. And it's something that I've worked towards over time. So, challenges. The first one would be procrastination. Procrastinating. That could be things like watching YouTube. That could be looking at Instagram. It could just be sitting there doing nothing, thinking. These are all roadblocks to getting stuff done. And I'm not saying you can eliminate this completely, but it's good to slowly reduce it. So it could just be as simple as putting on some music or having that plan of knowing exactly what you're going to do. You know how long you're going to be doing it for, and then maybe you can schedule in procrastination afterwards. You could schedule in your time to look at YouTube, schedule social media time. You can schedule in that time to look at this stuff when you're not working. So maybe you could do, there's this method of working where you spend 25 minutes work, 5 minutes no work. So for every 25 minutes of work, you can spend 5 minutes procrastinating. There's a sort of reward. That 5 minutes is your reward. That's one method of doing it. And I think this one's quite an effective method. I think it's called the Pomodoro method or something like that. Probably messing that up. But I would highly suggest if you're struggling with procrastination, then have a look at that. So another challenge is actually just the motivation to do the work. Have you got any motivation whatsoever? Well, the thing is, you need to learn to work with no motivation. You just write that here. Work without motivation. How the hell do you do that? Don't you need motivation? Well, no. If you schedule yourself your tasks, it could just be edit and research. Do I wake up and I think, oh my God, I really want to edit every day? No, I don't. Some days I wake up and I just can't be bothered with it, and I just would rather sit there and watch videos. And that's just a waste of my time. But the thing is, I've scheduled it. I might just be doing 1 hour. 1 hour doesn't sound so bad, does it? It could just be 30 minutes. 30 minutes of editing doesn't sound so bad. So I schedule it in. If I know I'm going to be feeling, you can sometimes sort of guess, tomorrow I'm probably going to feel rubbish. Then you can schedule in 1 hour, 30 minutes, whatever. Remember, it's all about just doing stuff, no matter how small, making action each day towards what you want to do. And this is one way of doing it. You've got to be quite flexible sometimes. So you're not always going to be feeling like peak performance. So it's good to scale what you're doing. Some days you can work for 8 hours and feel great. Other days you can work for 1 hour and feel terrible. But you've scheduled in that time, you're going to do it. And then afterwards you can chill. And then that's how you work without motivation. So with all that in mind, now we have routine. We're able to get stuff done regardless of our motivation levels. And it might take some time to get used to this, but once you do, you will get more done than you have ever done in your life. And all the key to success was defined work hours, and defined goals. find work hours and define goals. So if you don't have defined goals yet, I highly suggest this is where you start. And the thing is, through doing what I've done here, I have been able to know that if I say I will do something, I will do it. So say it equals do it. If you go around saying, I'm going to make loads of videos, but you don't do it, what are you doing? You need to start doing what you say. That is the key to all of this. So since I've been working in this way with this routine, I've been getting better sleep. I've been more productive. And I've been working towards my goals. And the thing is, I've been thinking about these goals that I've got making YouTube videos for over 10 years. And it's only now in the past 4 months that I've actually been working towards it. And with this routine, I have done more in the past 4 months than I have done in the past 10 years. Because I have now got a defined goal and defined work hours. So since doing all of this, not only have I had better sleep, been more productive because I've been working on my goals, but I've been getting a greater sense of well-being up here because I've actually been working towards those goals. And I've done more in 4 months than I have in the past 10 years. And I truly believe if you incorporate this way of working into your life, you will achieve more than you ever thought possible. Thanks for watching.